Hey, welcome to Journey Virtual Training. Today we're going to walk you through how to upload a payroll file to the Journey website. It's a pretty simple process, but we decided to record a training video for it instead of typing out an extra long email every single time we take on a new client, just because there's a little bit of nuance to it. Now your spreadsheet is going to look a little bit different probably than this. We build a separate file routine for each company. That way we can kind of match whatever export your payroll system has available. So you might have different columns in this or a different order, and that's okay. Whatever file format you've coordinated with your Journey representative, that's going to work for this process. A couple quick notes with preparing this file. The social number column, you're going to want to make sure you don't have any dashes or spaces in here. It's just a number. Your dates should be in month, day, year form, and I believe that is something we can change if really needed, but this is how it should be by default for everything to import properly. The last thing is that if you ever get new employees coming on, it's a pretty simple process. All you have to do is add them to the bottom. So you can just add someone's name, their information. As long as you have a social number and name for them, then whenever you import this payroll file, it will just create that person in our system. And as soon as that person is in our system from being imported like this, they can go and log into their sponsor web and claim their sponsor web account with their social number just like anyone else. So it's a really simple process just to add people by adding them to the bottom of your payroll file. The only other important thing to remember is that you got to make sure you don't have any extra rows above or below. So some export files have like a thing that says payroll export for the date or whatever up here. So if you have that, you can just make sure you delete these. You can have one header record with these headers in it, but beyond that, there's got to be nothing above or below it. It should just be kind of this format for the system to read it. Now, if you've never accessed your sponsor portal before, it's pretty easy to get there. You just go to journeyrps.com, it should look like this, and you go to For Sponsors, and under Sponsor Portal, you just click Take Me there, and then you should end up on a landing page kind of like this. You want to make sure this drop-down says Sponsor, otherwise you're not going to be able to log in correctly. You can bookmark this page so you don't have to go through the Journey website every time. You can just go right to here and it will take you where you need to be. And your plan credentials should have been provided by Journey at some point in the conversion process. If not, you can request them. We're always happy to set up new accounts for new people. Now once you log in, you're going to have a dashboard kind of like this, and yours might look a little different from mine because I have administrator privileges that I don't think we give to all of our payroll processing accounts. But you'll land on a dashboard kind of like this. And to upload a payroll file, it's pretty simple. You just go to Payroll. Now you want to make sure you go to Data Validation Center. I know there's sometimes a button that says Upload File, and that actually is for something else. It's for an older system that no longer is in use. So you want to make sure you go to Data Validation Center here. Now this should always be on Payroll by default, but you're going to want to make sure this process selection is on Payroll. And then you're going to click Upload a file containing the payroll data. Again, should be the default. Most of our companies don't use divisions within our accounting system, and so this should usually be all. Now the first nuance thing you're going to want to pay attention to is to make sure you pick the right payroll. Most companies, you'll only see one pay schedule here. Now this here says demo pay schedule. Yours will very likely say something along the lines of your pay frequency / the day of the week that it happened. So your pay schedule might be something along the lines of bi-weekly / Friday or weekly / Wednesday. I'll throw some examples up on screen now of what your pay schedule might be called, anything along these lines. And then you're just going to want to make sure the pay period is the correct pay period, and it should be the newest one, the top one here. And you're just going to want to make sure the payroll period is the correct payroll period, or roughly equal to the time worked for that pay. It's not an exact science as to the coordination between what the payroll date actually says in our system and when you run payroll. It's just kind of to keep it lined up. Now once you've already uploaded a file, that pay schedule date will no longer appear in this list. So if you uploaded a file and realize there's an issue with it or you need to change something, just give us a call and we will reset that, and it should appear back here for you to re-upload. So once you get to the next page, this is where you actually upload your file. So under process format, you almost definitely will only have one thing here. This just tells our system what your spreadsheet looks like. Yours will likely say DVC and then the name of your company or something along those lines. If you click data format, if you ever forget, you can actually see here what your spreadsheet will look like. So this is saying that our system is going to look for an Excel file with these columns in this order. Again, this should just be filled in by default. You shouldn't have to think about this ever. So then you're going to click select file and you're going to select your spreadsheet. Now if you remember, the spreadsheet has a first row here as headers, and what we don't want is for the system to think we have a person whose last name is last name and first name is first name and so on, right? So you're just going to want to make sure if you have that, you check this box here that says skip first record, header record, and that will tell the system that, hey, this file has a header, we're going to start reading from the second line down. You can also check preview file here, and that will let you kind of see the data before it's imported, just to make sure everything looks correct to you. So you can see here all the information that was in our spreadsheet has been read by the system properly. Now sometimes, for whatever reason, this window only previews the first couple of records and doesn't show everything, and that's okay. All your records still made it in successfully. And once you click OK, it'll start to actually import that into our record keeping system. So then it takes you to this page, which is kind of just a double check. You can see the total deposits and total for each source that is coming out of this payroll, just to make sure everything looks right, and then you can just complete and submit for final processing. And you don't need to keep this request ID for anything, that's just more for internal use. And that should be it. It's a pretty simple, quick process. I took some time to walk you through all the nuance here, but in reality, this doesn't take any longer than 2 or 3 minutes to just click upload and click through the things that should all be filled in. It's a pretty quick and easy process. What happens from here is that information is imported automatically into our record keeping system, and it'll send an email to our contributions team saying, hey, this company uploaded a payroll, and from there they will go make sure everything looks right and actually pull that money out of your bank account and send you a confirmation. If you have more questions, we're always happy to set up a virtual meeting with our payroll specialist, Rochelle, and she's more than happy to walk you through all of this over a meeting or answer any other questions you might have. So yeah, that's about it. It's a pretty simple process. I hope this helped answer any questions about, how you upload a file to our site, and thank you for choosing Journey.